It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Commanders. And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Commanders Field holds a little more than 80,000, and they have come out in droves here in Landover, Maryland. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and for both of these teams that we're going to see, Charles, the future is kind of right now. You know, this is something you only see a handful of times in an NFL season where you've got a rookie quarterback versus a rookie quarterback.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the era we're in now, because our dads, they didn't see rookie quarterbacks go against each other. In fact, it could be 2-3 years before they even saw the playing field. Nowadays, you get drafted, they expect you to play earlier, and these guys is competing.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And off we go in our nation's capital. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the rookie from the University of Washington.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. A play fake. Now Penix. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll go play action here with Penix. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
To the air, Penix. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to.
Touchdown, Falcons! Philip Dorsett, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Falcons will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Extra point attempt to come here. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And the result here, a pickup of 8, leaves him with 2 to go on second down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's Daniels. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That good for 19 and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Throwing now is Daniels. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. To the air goes Daniels. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
If I'm making excuses, And I am. Sometimes the sun can be difficult on a ball like that. That looked like it was going to be right there, but it's in and out of his hands. And a potential big play goes by the wayside.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
Looking to throw, Penix. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Dorrance Armstrong showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. And looking to throw, Penix completes a Mooney on the slant.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Here's 3rd and 10. Now Penix. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Already he's top 50 receiving yards in this first quarter. And he's got a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw again is Penix. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Kyle Pitts, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. They'll throw with Penix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Daniels looking to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, we keep stats on everything, don't we? This is one that you don't want to have. That's his 2nd drop right here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say only in the first quarter. Certainly a ship that he wants to right quickly. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They go play action. Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Simmons. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
To throw is Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Toss play to Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Daniels. And complete to Zach Ertz. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
2nd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
From the gun on 3rd down. Daniels, middle of the field. He's got McLaurin. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, here's Daniels. That is caught. He will have the conversion and more than that. That he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin. 34 yards. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now they can't bring him down. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. A quick throw out wide to Mooney. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Here's Penix. That's caught by Werner, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Robinson up the middle. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. Eluding the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Javon Kinlaw in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and a give to Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. And McLaurin, the motion man right. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels. Pass taken in by his big tight end. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. Fights off the defender. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Austin Eckler, a 10-yard touchdown run. And Washington has taken the lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Atlanta now coming out on the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
To the air, Penix. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. He'll drop to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
He's got his target. That's complete. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Robinson will score. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. That time a 6-play drive. And it was Bijan Robinson who took it home with a touchdown run. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Washington offense heading out. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to just...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A huge play there for Washington. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Off the play fake, Daniels. That's caught left side by Simmett. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Handoff now to Robinson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
But think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
Robinson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Gonzalez to add the PAT. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Well, the Falcons back out, getting set for this next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Looking to throw, Penix. Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
On the counter, this is Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On second down, another shot for Robinson. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now Penix. His throw incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And looking to throw, Penix. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll go play action here with Penix. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Eddie Goldman with a sack. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
To throw is Daniels. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Now Daniels. On the screen, this is Eckler. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space
with big guys leading the way.
Throwing now is Daniels. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Daniels looking to throw. He'll get this to Eckler. Room to maneuver at the 35. He's to the 15. And finally wrestled down at the 11. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Here's Daniels. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
They'll throw with Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Here's Penix. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From the shotgun, it's Penix. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground, and they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
It was a solid first half of football for the Alabama man, Brian Robinson. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the third quarter. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got third and short.
That is caught, and he's going to have a Commanders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
This is the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
Again, he'll find Samuel for the completion. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
To the air goes Daniels. He'll get this complete to Sennett, the tight end.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. From the 23, this is 2nd and 3. Back to throw again. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On the give, here's Robinson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr., his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Mooney. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Back to throw. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back, but how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Commanders offense and running back Brian Robinson getting set for this next drive. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards there and a Washington first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. Second down and 3. On the run, it's Robinson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Daniels from the gun on third down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Atlanta regains possession of the football. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Ball at the 23, second and 8. Robinson with another carry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw, Penix. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded just inside the 30. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Robinson will try to pick it up. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They run the option here on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
A quick throw here out to Brown. So no gain on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Operating from the gun, Penix. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Up past the 30, second down coming up. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. To the air, Penix. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Washington on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 43. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A give left side to Robinson. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And looking to throw, Penix. That's complete to Robinson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now Penix. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Robinson up the middle. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. And this a 39-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the posts, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. Well, no field goal attempts for him until the final quarter, but no hesitation on his end. He comes right out and nails his first field goal try.
I give him a lot of credit, too, because he stood there the entire ball game, but has managed to stay with it both mentally and physically. When they called on him, he was ready, and he knocked it through the posts.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Quick throw, and it's caught by Gallup. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Four yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing now is Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 42. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. Whoa! It still won't go down. And he's taken down inside the 30. 110 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And really a nice job there to make something out of that run, sidestepping defenders for a pickup of 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
They go play action. Daniels to the right side and caught by Sennett. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Daniels. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Give to Robinson on the option. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Gonzalez's kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Penix. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 62 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll throw with Penix. Here's a screen for Robinson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Short throw caught by Pitts. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Checks this one down to Robinson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
the receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there, yeah.
Oh,
and you went that far back, no bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what, I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They are going for it. Penix. Flush to his right. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. A real chance for them to salt this game away after that turnover on downs, holding a 2-score lead in the 4th quarter. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Here's a 2nd and 5. The first carry for Jeremy McNichols. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Handoff now to Robinson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Here's McNichols. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run it now with Robinson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that not just important in the fact that it widens their lead, but really that was a textbook job of just hanging on to the football.
And we know all the time that coaches talk about time of possession. Sometimes it's a stat that doesn't matter much, but in this drive, it matters a lot. They want to reduce time and score points and lock this game down.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
A throw out wide going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
To throw again is Penix. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Penix. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. We've seen a bevy of those. This secondary, they've been pretty good, haven't they?
They certainly have. They've allowed the one touchdown through the air, and they're going to be upset about that later when they watch the game tape. But other than that, they've been absolutely rock solid.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. On the bootleg, it's Penix. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and Washington will take control of the football in great field position. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So a victory here for the Commanders. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.